I will fight with.
Hey guys, welcome back to Tavern Brawl Shenanigans. We are going to just hop straight back into it. And I'm just going to continue this. Oh, I forgot to record losses. We lost 3 in a row. I'm just going to continue this recording until I get a win. Because I want to get a win. Because I want to see what happens when you beat the guy. And it's a really cool thing I just noticed just then. You get the pack irrespective of what happens against Mechazod. And that's great. It speaks to how much faith Blizzard has in this Tavern Brawl. They believe that people will just keep playing. You know, the pack, yeah, have the pack. But we think you will love this Tavern Brawl so much that you'll just keep playing. And you know what? They're right. They're absolutely right. Does this thing actually attack? It doesn't attack, does it? I don't want to drop an unprotected lore because he'll just assassinate it. I want to drop it when we need the health and the tempo, because dropping the lore walker basically means that he's forced to clear it. He has to clear the lore. That's part of his algorithm. So I'm going to save the lore walker until later. I want to save some high damage threats. Not high damage threats, high priority threats, sorry. And buy some time later on. So for now, I'm just going to, just develop as usual. This encounter starts quite slowly. He doesn't really do a ton of things until maybe. I haven't been counting the Mitre Crystals actually. It'd be useful to count the Mitre Crystals and see what turn certain things unlock, what turn you can expect him to do certain things. But I have learnt from our 3 losses that Lore Walker is a super high priority target, and he will do everything in his power to kill Lore Walker. So it's great for setting up. I think actually that I want to get value out of this. Okay, I'm just going to do this then. Yeah, I want to get value out of Fiola. I want her to give something Divine Shield because of his bomber effect, and because of see that bomber effect. I think that's his only minion board clear. That's his only multi-target minion board clear, and it's not super reliable because it can hit face. The other one is Assassinate, which is super reliable. So Divine Shield is actually very powerful in this mode if you can put Divine Shield on things. Divine Shield is actually probably more important than health buffs, because at a certain point he's just going to power himself up, and he can just one-shot anything with his bombs, with his bomb salvo. So Divine Shield is really the way to go. Okay, I can't really do anything. Well, I can Kings actually. I can far see a dude, but I think Kings and squeezing in some damage isn't too bad. It probably forces out an Assassinate as well, because this is a very high threat minion. If you want to listen to my thoughts on the logic of this encounter and sort of the programming. I'm not a programmer, but I like to think about the logic of what Blizz has put into this encounter. I came to the conclusion, or the hypothesis, that something that's 5 attack or above merits a Assassinate from this guy, but obviously he did the bomb salvo and it worked, so I don't know actually, it's hard to say. And it looks like my opponent is a little, not my opponent, it's so foreign to think about the player across from the game board to you as not your opponent, but as your partner. And I've talked enough about this in the first video. Watch the first. I don't know why you're watching video 2 if you haven't seen video 1, but I talk a lot about video in part 1 about PvP versus PvE, how PvP is a zero-sum game and PvE is generally a more positive experience for players, and it's positive experiences that bring players back to games, not getting your face stomped by barcodes and Secrets Pally, aggro Secrets Pally. And on the note of Secrets Pally, I do have a video on my channel in which I analyze. If you like my approach to the game, my approach to how I think about things, I have a video on this channel in which I analyze Secrets Pally. It's called Mysterious Challenger is Not the Problem, My Analysis. I think that's what it's called. I should really know this. And in it I talk about, that I espouse my theory that Mysterious Challenger isn't super powerful because it has a lot of drawbacks. But that Pally early game has been buffed and is really oppressive. A lot due to the fact that Patron Warrior is perceived to be weaker than before. And that's true. That's like a linear truth. You know, you nerf a combo piece in Patron Warrior, or you just take a combo piece away, it's going to make the deck worse. But that also means that we're going to do a ton of damage this turn. That also means that it's not there to counter decks that it was previously. Oh my god. Okay, how much damage are we looking at? Well, let's do this. I want you to put Divine Shield on yourself. Oh, okay, only on yourself. Okay, sure. Well, let's just go ham. I'm just gonna go ham. And this is when I want to play Lore Walker, actually. Oh yeah, cash in that 48 damage. I might have needed. It might have been a better idea actually to save one of the bananas and put Divine Shield on later. Because then it protects. But I'm pretty damn sure this thing's getting assassinated. I would bet my money on this thing getting assassinated. Okay, I'm going to leave the board because it gives... Yeah, that thing was definitely getting assassinated. Whatever the algorithm was, 48 is way above it. And that was actually... That worked out for us, see? We played the Lore Walker whilst he had some other assassinate target, and this thing can get us some value. This thing can do a lot of work for us if we're both really low in cards, so it's a little bit not going to happen. But if we just go ham and just go for it, we can win the game. I'm quite confident that we can win the game. Although my Bolvar is pitiful, pitiful Bolvar. Bolvar. He's such a strong card. No, he's an interesting card, and you'll hear me talk a lot about my theory on game design and card balance design. You know, how interesting cards are so much better for the game, so much healthier for the game than just straight up good cards. So take, for example, Bolvar versus... What's another straight up good 5-drop? Lotheb. Yeah, Lotheb. I mean, and Lotheb has a little... What did he say? Oh, anyway, he skipped a turn. We're good to go. Oh yeah. Well played. And see, when I say well played, it's not BM. It's just like, cool man, we did it. We had a great game. Let's enjoy the win. Such a positive experience. Okay, let's drop a win. Oh, we've done it. Okay, I'll do one more game just to fill out the video, just to get a little bit more of a sense of how this brawl rolls out, how this brawl plays out. Yeah, so you see the great thing is you do a PvE encounter co-op and you win, you both feel great. You lose, you both feel okay because it's like, oh, it's meant to be hard anyway, that's cool, you know. We'll try again. Let's just queue up again. So in both situations, the player feels good and wants to play more, which is exactly what you want when you are a game developer. You don't want to build a game that players don't want to play. And I think that's really the problematic issue with what happened with, I don't know if you guys are aware of PT, the playable trailer that was directed by Guillermo del Toro and collaborated on with Hideo Kojima, who is the brains behind Metal Gear Solid. Really, the brains and the brawn behind Metal Gear Solid. Basically, he's like, he's not at Konami anymore, but he's the Steve Jobs of Metal Gear Solid. That's probably a really stupid analogy, but Metal Gear Solid is a really popular franchise that people really love. And he helmed it for a long, long time. I don't think I'm going to run a zombie chow in. I want to get value from the heal, so I'm just going to leave it here. Yeah, he helmed it for a long, long time. And so the issue with PT is, I think they actually came out and said, we don't care how scary the game is. We want to follow our vision. I'm just paraphrasing. I'll find the actual link and stuff for the show notes. Yeah, I'll heal him now. And so I think that was part of the marketing pitch, or maybe not even the marketing pitch. It was just like truth, but put in marketing. And this game is going to be so scary. We don't give a damn what our consumers think. And that's sort of what ended the game, I think. That's sort of like, if you spend more than 3 minutes thinking about that, it's like, what? You're going to make a game so scary. And because the PT demo, I didn't play it myself, but I've watched people play it. You're going to make a game so scary that people don't want to play it. How are we going to sell copies of this game? What the hell are you talking about? What are you smoking, dude?
Hey, give me that.
And so I think that's basically why PT fell apart. I'll save this later, actually. I'll save this for later. This, I want to wait till he has 10 mana. Because... Well, actually, not 10 mana. Because it doesn't matter. But, I want to wait till he has minions. Because so many pally spells interact with minions. He needs minions on his board. I'm not going to play Mana Storm and give him zero cost spells until he has some minions on the board that are sticky until the next time that he can attack them. So I want to save this in hand. I'm not gonna waste it. I'm pretty sure he will just assassinate. Well, he doesn't need to assassinate this thing because the effect is just one off. Do I want to draw the assassinate, or do I want to play two small guys? Let's play two small guys. Two small guys seems to be best against in this encounter. Yeah. So going back to PT, you know, whatever you make, if it's going to be like a game that is sold to consumers, you have to have consumers in mind. And I'm sure part of that marketing pitch was like, hey, you know, we want to reach people who are hardcore horror nerds. You see how well Amnesia: The Dark Descent did? And Machine for Pigs was okay. And more recently, Soma. People love that stuff, man. You know, and Outlast. Remember Outlast? People love that stuff. And yes, people do love that stuff. But if it gets too much, it makes very little sense for anyone to buy the game. Like, you know... And... I'm not, you know, I might sound cynical here, but, you know, if you see a game like PT and you're like, I don't actually want to buy the game, hey, let's pirate it and see how it goes. And I really think that it's a little bit counterproductive to market your game as, you know, so scary, we don't care, no one will want to play this game after the first go, because that really goes counter to why people play games, I believe. Why most people play games. Most people play games to escape, to feel good, to feel a sense of control over their world. And horror games have a lot of issues with this. You know, Amnesia walked a really fine line between, you know, this feels so bad that I don't want to play anymore, but I want to push myself forward into the storyline and find out what happens next. I'll put in the link to the show notes, day 9, playing Amnesia: The Dark Descent. And you see, you see his descent into madness as he plays the game more and more. Just because it's so taxing on your psyche, because we are not used to that level of we're not used to that level of fear and anxiety and apprehension of what's around the corner. Even though you know it's a game, you know, he plays in a dark room with the sound turned all the way up with headphones. You might say that's masochistic, you know, you really gotta do that to yourself, you're freaking crazy. But he did it for his viewers, and it's really fun to watch, obviously, and it was really funny to watch him freak out. But most people don't have stream viewers, most people don't have YouTube followers. Most people aren't going to perform and be like idiots, not idiots, but, you know, embarrass themselves. Basically embarrass themselves in front of a crowd of people. Like, most people play games, I believe, anyway. I could be wrong, I don't have statistics, I'm not the Bureau of Statistics. Most people probably play games to escape and to feel good about themselves. And horror games walk a very, very fine line. Because if you make it too scary, people are like, I'm done. You know, I don't care that I paid, you know, $40 for this game. I'm done. You can have your horror game. I am done. And that's a really risky thing for a horror game to do. And I think with PT, they definitely walked off the edge. I really admire them walking off the edge. I like the daring. I like boldness. I've always liked daring and boldness. I've always enjoyed people just having a go, you know, trying something new. Because there's nothing worse than... I'm going to get a lot of flack from this, but superhero movie after superhero movie after superhero movie into Avengers 1, into more superhero movie, into more superhero movie, into more superhero movie, into Avengers 2, into more superhero movie, into more superhero movie, more superhero movie, Avengers 3, Infinity, what? Gems, more superhero movie. I think you get my point, yeah? There's nothing worse than just seeing the same thing over and over again. I think that, you know, once or twice, great. You know, you've done this really cool thing, great. Thumbs up. I love it. Great. You've done a great thing. You know, you've done something. You know why Iron Man 2 was awesome? Because Iron Man 2 had never been done before. You know why Spider-Man 1 and 2 were awesome? Because Spider-Man 1 and 2 when... Oh, that was close. Well played. And never been done before. Yeah? So, like... But now we have Disney MCU movies every 3 months. And... Honestly, look, I don't care anymore. I could not care less. Give me something new. Give me something awesome. It's the same issue with Terminator Genesis. Like... I've seen T2. I don't need to watch T2 again. T2 is awesome. Like, get over it, you know? Get me something new. Like, promote some more original concepts. I don't care if they're failures. I think that we as a society, and, you know, I'm just speaking for myself. Obviously, I'm wrong. This one person, and, you know, people vote with their wallets. The Michael Bay movies, the Michael Bay Terminator movies. No, sorry, not Terminator. I would never intentionally put Terminator and Michael Bay in the same sentence.
Well met.
The Michael Bay movies, they keep selling out. They keep doing well because people are also creatures of habit. People like to, you know, it's the same with me. I like eating spaghetti bolognese. So sometimes I feel like eating spaghetti bolognese. I'll go back to spaghetti bolognese. But I also like trying new things. So it's like a complex dynamic, you know. It's like I want to try new things. I want to try old things. And I think more people than not are comforted by old things than new things. And so, you know, that sort of explains why Hollywood, the mass movie market is, you know, superhero movie. Now we have DC getting on board with Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman, which is a stupid name. And Suicide Squad and etc. Like, they're cashing in, but you don't have first mover advantage. You're going to cash into a craze which is what, like 6 years old? When did the first Iron Man movie come out? Let me put this in the show notes. Iron Man movie. I'm just going to pull up Chrome here. Iron Man 1. When did the first Iron Man movie come out? 2008. Yeah, so I was about right. 2008. First Iron Man movie kicked off the superhero craze in 2008, 6 years ago. And you're going to climb on DC. Well, not DC, because DC's always been in comics. But whoever's producing, you know, I guess it might be DC Studios, but it's not, you know, it's not exactly the same as DC Comics. Are you going to climb on to the bandwagon 6 years late? Like, you've missed the bandwagon by, like, at least 3 years. Like, whatever thing you could have done that was awesome and original has already been done. You know? It's already been done. Like, what are you doing? Why not just do something different and awesome and cool? Why are you rehashing, you know, why are you doing JLA? And I love JLA, don't get me wrong, I love JLA. But you have, you know, but if you're going to do JLA, you better do something really different. And actually, that's part of why I like the Man of Steel movie, because it's different. Because it's not like happy-go-la-la, have a couple of quips, Joss Whedon, you know, Avengers. It's different. And I respect Snyder. And Snyder actually he cops a lot of flack. But I really have come around to Snyder recently because he tries things. And, you know, and I know Watchmen wasn't great, but it was okay. It was watchable. There were some really cool elements. The Rorschach character, I think it was Haley Joel something, was really well accepted. And that's like, you know, that's not by accident. Like, it didn't just pop out of his rear. It didn't just pop out of his rear one day and go, oh, wouldn't it be awesome? Well, it did pop out, but he made it happen. So there are good elements in that movie. Also 300, the distinctive visual style is so cool. It's really awesome. Man of Steel, a different take on Superman. I think there's a very specific reason why the movie wasn't called Superman. It was called Man of Steel. I think it would have been even better, actually, if they entirely divorced it from the Superman franchise, because so many people are confused. It's like, this is meant to be Superman. Why isn't he saving people? Why isn't he, like, doing cool things and, like, you know, having one-liners and stuff and working in the Daily Planet? But this isn't the actual vision of Superman. Angry Joe has a really cool video. Let me put that in the show notes. Angry Joe on Superman, where he defends the movie and explains that this isn't the regular Superman that everyone knows. This is different, and we should embrace the difference rather than reject the difference, because, you know, we have to accept the director's vision for. We have to accept the director's vision for the character, and I think it would have been so much better if they were able to divorce themselves from the franchise. Like, not call it Superman, just call it something else. Call it, like, let me think of a name. Call it something along the lines of Mars Baby, or whatever. I can't think of anything right now. But call it not Superman. It could even be called not Superman. And that's as far as they could go. Like, they basically went with not Superman, because they said Man of Steel, and the bracket behind it is not Superman. Yeah? They basically went as far as they could. And that still wasn't enough, because fans were, the traditional Superman fans were up in arms about, you know, it's not the same character. And he's not the same character. I'm sorry if I'm belaboring a point. And so Superman, it would have been so much better if it was just something else, a different name, a different character, and then you can go anywhere you want with the story. But I understand why they slapped the Superman name on it. It's for marquee value, for recognition, and for people to go, hey, there's a Superman movie in the cinemas. Let's go watch Superman. Remember Superman? You know, remember that movie with Christopher Reeve? It was pretty cool, right? Would you like to see that again? And that's really sort of what Hollywood has gotten into with the huge superhero movies and things like that. Like, it's sort of like, would you like to see that again? Here it is again. And it's a little sad. The sort of the quote unquote would you like to see that again phenomena of Hollywood is just, it's a little sad. It stifles creativity. It pushes down things. It pushes down people that want to do new and different things. And that's sort of why I've come around to M. Night Shyamalan. Like, you know, at a certain point in his career, you know, after The Village, he became a little samey. He became a little bit of a would you like to see that again guy. But now he's sort of pulling it back. I mean, you know, he's still got his signatures. Such I haven't seen The Visit, so disclaimer, I haven't seen The Visit, but I've heard good things about it, and I look forward to seeing it when it comes out on, you know, Netflix streaming or anything like that, or one of the services I subscribe to. He fell into the would you like to see that again vortex, and he's come back. He's come back out of the vortex with things that, you know, things that are characteristic to his directing style, but aren't so predictable and yeah. But you do see him after The Village, after people were like, you just do the same old stuff over again. You see him trying things, and you can't fault him. You can't fault a guy for trying things. You cannot, because that is so unfair. You cannot fault someone for trying things, because it's such a part of our culture to, like, shame people for failing. Whereas, you know, failing is a good thing. If you fail at something, it means you figured out that I'm not good at this anymore. Let's try something else. But if you have a fear of failure, you'll try nothing. You'll try nothing, and then you'll never grow as a person, or grow as an individual, or grow as a company. But you probably figured out from the rant that I like to think about things in this way. I have a really quirky way of thinking about things. But take, for example, Apple and their meteoric rise with the iPad, the iPhone, the iPod, the iPhone, and then the iPad. And now it's like, what? The Apple Watch? What?
How many fingers do you see?
And they're trying something. It didn't work. I don't think it worked out. It's not selling gangbusters. But at least they tried something, and they led the way. Everyone else is following behind. Actually, the iWatch, sorry, not the, they don't want us to call it the iWatch, they want us to call it the Apple Watch. The Apple Watch really feels like a little bit of we're following behind Fitbit, and we are following behind, even simpler than that, we are following behind the heels of the watch, which has existed in society for hundreds and hundreds of years. Here, have our watch. And it's like, compared to what they did in the past, it's nowhere close to it's nowhere close to the level of daring and innovation that I would expect from somewhere like, from a place like Apple. I would have expected the Steve Jobs to kill that project. I would have expected Steve Jobs to say, no, that's too, like, well, you're going to sell someone a watch? People have watches. Why are you doing that? You know, I'd rather do something else. I'd rather introduce people to a new way of like viewing media. Maybe, let's build a TV that, well, it's already happened, smart TVs where you can have apps and stuff, but let's put iOS on a TV. How awesome would it be if Apple were able to put iOS on a TV? And I know we already have Chromecast, we have go-betweens, but imagine if they had done that right after the iPad became popular, right after iOS took off. How cool would that have been? So that, instead of you have your iPod, your iPhone, and your iPad, now you have a Mega Ultra iPad that is as many inches as you want. And there'll be issues, there'll be humps, but screw that. Let's just get the Mega Ultra iPad on the TV. We can use, there's obviously maybe you can't use touch. Maybe we'll use motion sensor. Maybe Xbox style motion center, or maybe we can use a remote. People are used to using remotes like the Wii, and we can have games. We can have apps. We can have apps that are actually good and regularly updated because our platform is awesome. I feel a little bit sad that Apple didn't go in a way that, like, I wanted them to go in a certain way, and they didn't. But that's cool. That's why I am here making stupid YouTube videos, and Tim Cook is there. Tim Cook is there. I think I should run him. Running Apple. Please don't kill us. Please don't go. We're dead. Okay, well played. I think we're done for today. So if you enjoyed my rant, if you enjoyed me talking about all these silly tech-related things and silly things like that, please, I would love it so much if you guys. I would like to thank you guys in advance for liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing. It means a lot to me. I do this for the love. I wouldn't be able to put this much time into it if I didn't. So just before I sign off, I want to wish you guys a lovely day. Hope you have a great time today. This has really set me up for the rest of the day. I feel really good thinking about the positive things that Blizzard has done with Hearthstone. So until next time, this is No Dust signing off. Have a good day.